Pistols typically aren't the most impressive guns in a Call of Duty game until they are. And those are some wild moments. But more often than not, they're not that impressive. Some of these guns are almost as unimpressive as your standing Call of Duty KD. I'm kidding. I know all of you are Slayers, and you're amazing. I mean, look at the M1911 from the original Modern Warfare, from COD 4. Yes, welcome back to the Every COD series. Today we're going over the worst pistol, and the worst pistol in COD 4, we're going to go through every Call of Duty. Well, it was this one. We're going to go all the way through Black Ops 7, and I'm going to tell you what the worst one is. I'm sorry that I said that about your KD. It was mean, but seriously, the M1911 in the game is bad. Magazine, tiny. Recoil, high. Damage, perfectly in line with the other standard handguns in the game, all of which had bigger mags and better accuracy. So why would I ever pick the dinky version of the M1911 when I could use the USP, the M9, the Deagle? Those guns were way better than this, and way better than your KD. I'm gonna stop. Let's move on to World at War. I know it's corny. I'm old. I'm completely out of touch, and my jokes aren't funny. World at War. The Walther P38. Now, the damage and the fire rate was okay for this when compared to other pistols in the game, but the P38 had a bizarre recoil pattern that made it difficult to actually see the fruits of your labor. Other pistols may have had similar stats, but they were at least easier to land shots with, so you didn't have to worry about somebody getting away from your follow-ups. But with the P, you didn't have any confidence in where the bullets were actually going. And even when the bullets did connect, they didn't really hit that hard. Now let's talk about Modern Warfare 2. Ever wish you could predict the future? Well, today you actually can. Today's video is powered by Kalshi.com, the only place to legally trade on real-world events in all 50 states. And honestly, it's one of my favorite ways to see what people actually think is going to happen before it happens. Most of you know I'm a huge Marvel fan, so I thought we would check out the Spider-Man Brand New Day Rotten Tomatoes market. Click on it right here on Kalshi.com, and it's really, really simple. Will Spider-Man Brand New Day get above 85, above 90, above 95? It's a good way to gauge the hype for the movie, which we know there is tremendous hype for this movie. People are literally trading on what they think the critics will score this movie. Looking at the market, we can actually see where traders think this movie is going to land. And after everything that happened with No Way Home and the direction Spider-Man's going, I think Brand New Day has a chance to land really, really high, but that's the fun of it, because anything can happen. That's what I like about Kalshi.com. It's not just Spider-Man. I mean, we could trade on who the next James Bond's going to be. Will GTA 6 launch on time? Who Sadie Sink actually plays in Spider-Man? That's just on the movie side. There's elections, politics, sports, culture, commodities, climate. You can trade on everything that is a real-world event. So if you think you have a better read than everybody else on the Spider-Man Brand New Day movie and the Rotten Tomatoes score, or any other market that's on Kalshi.com, click the link below or use code CHAOS to get $10 when you trade $10, and you can do that on all the markets that are on Kalshi.com. I've got a pretty good idea where Brand New Day is going to land on the Rotten Tomatoes score, so you guys let me know what you think. Again, use code CHAOS, pin comment below. Now let's get back to the video. The original, the great Modern Warfare 2. The USP-45. Modern Warfare 2 had some ridiculous secondaries. Can we all agree on that? I mean, tell me in detail. Why would I ever choose the USP-45 and take it into battle with me instead of the Spaz-12, the Raffica, the G-18, the Rangers, the Striker, the Deagle, the 44 mag? I could go on. I wouldn't. It was a dinky little handgun. No damage. I mean, the visual recoil was annoying. Infinity Ward somehow expected you to pick it up over some of the best secondaries, even in a first-person shooter. Seriously. The gun was in the game as filler. I believe that. Black Ops 1. Are you playing the ports? There was like 5 million people reported playing Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. I love it. The ASP. I mean, let me ask you. Can you guess what the ASP stands for? I always like to ask the comment section what they think it is whenever I bring it up, because there isn't really anything else to talk about this piece of crap. It was weak, it was unreliable, it was awkward to control, and it was somehow supposed to stand up to the Python and the CZ75, which, that's not going to happen. So instead of talking about it, I'm just going to tell you guys that the ASP, well, what it stood for. What I think it stood for. A stinky pizza. Ants shoot pool. Andy started pooping. I've got more. I could keep going, but I'm not going to. Have you used the ASP in the port? I gotta know. I'm on one today, guys. I'm sorry. Modern Warfare 3. Now, on one hand, the USP-45 is one of the only guns to appear in all 3 classic Modern Warfare games, and I respect that. That's neat. On the other hand, this is 2 Modern Warfare games in a row where the USP-45 is easily the worst pistol in the game because it's going up against total behemoths, legacy pistols. Tell me, once again, why would I pick the USP-45 over the MP9, the FMG9, the 44 mag, the 5.7? I'm probably forgetting some. Had to be filler, right? Otherwise, what were the devs thinking? What was the point of even putting in the game when the competition was going to be that stiff? I am genuinely asking that question that I need somebody to answer me. Now, every time I mention this pistol, every time I talk crap about it, I get 1 or 2 weirdos in my comments trying to act like I'm smoking something. But whatever you guys are smoking to make you think the Executioner was good, I'm here to tell you, I mean, wherever you're getting it, because it's not good. There's no way you're thinking straight with opinions like that. The Executioner was the first proper shotgun pistol hybrid in Call of Duty history. And it's the worst one ever by a landslide. Yeah, looks awesome, name's awesome, but it was inconsistent. You could literally never know what you were getting with it when you pulled the trigger. Would you instantly kill the target with a single shot to the pinky toe? Would you hit them point blank in the face and watch them walk it off like nothing happened? There really was no middle ground here. And that kind of inconsistency made it a detriment to your loadout every time you spawned in with it and equipped. There's no redeeming it. Don't try to. And I ask you, have you tried to level up the Executioner in Black Ops 2 in the port? Now let's move over to Call of Duty Ghosts. In a game with an extremely quick time to kill, you probably shouldn't be running a 3-round burst pistol that can't get a 1 burst kill. I mean, that's the point of it. So what is the point? The PDW. 3-round burst, super slow fire rate, completely inconsistent damage. Meanwhile, literally every gun in the game would kill you in the blink of a freaking eye. Drop of a hat. So truly, why? The gold PDW was at least fully automatic, which is cool. A little better since you weren't waiting around for the burst delay after every time you pulled the trigger. But the standard PDW, it was terrible. And on top of that, why was it so ugly? Advanced Warfare. The Atlas 45. It really wasn't that bad, but it wasn't that good. I'm putting it here because it wasn't memorable in any way. It was just there. Sledgehammer had to make a starting pistol. They came up with the Atlas 45. Perfectly basic, unmemorable handgun that got the job done, but didn't do anything super impressive. Oh, that's another thing that the ASP could actually stand for, a starting pistol. Get it? ASP, a starting pistol. In fact, that might actually be what it is. We may have actually cracked the code on the ASP. Black Ops 3. A 2-round burst energy weapon that had slow-moving projectiles instead of hit-scan bullets like every other pistol in the game. And oh, the fire rate, it was really slow. Does that sound like a good pistol to any of you? Do any of you want a super slow 2-round burst that really is hard to hit things with because it's shooting out little blue snails instead of bullets? Does that sound like fun? No. Yeah, it's not. The Rift E9. And they locked it behind supply drops. Imagine spending a crisp $100 bill on supply drops. And the only gun you get is the Rift E9. Now, I should say that if you were running the full auto variant of this gun, we're moving on to Infinite Warfare if you didn't figure it out, it's pretty solid. But if you're running the normal semi-auto version of the Kindle 44, it was an extremely frustrating experience because it was no good. Fire rate was low, damage was low, recoil was weird, and the average time to kill felt extremely long. Again, if you're running the auto Sear version, I think it was, it's a viable pistol. But if you weren't running that and you were just trying to use it as a normal pistol, you were going to have a bad time. But then again, you were also playing Infinite Warfare, so you were probably having a bad time regardless. And before we move on to COD World War II, the Avengers Doomsday trailer dropped today. Yeah. What do you guys think? I'm hyped. I'm not quite hyped as I was for Infinity War and Endgame. Those hit different, and we're a little disconnected right now. But seeing Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom and hearing his accent and voice and seeing him two-finger block Thor and Stormbreaker, it's pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think. I read every single comment on every single video. COD World War II. There was actually a time when this gun was the best pistol in the game. Wild, I know, but after Sledgehammer thought it was a little too good, they nerfed it to oblivion. The machine pistol. It's pointless. I mean, in current state, it's terrible. It's a pea shooter with high recoil, a small magazine, and way too much muzzle flash to be consistent beyond point-blank range. I'm talking Infinity Ward Modern Warfare 4 muzzle flash. Who decided to give this gun so much muzzle flash? Did Infinity Ward actually make this pistol and sneak it into COD World War II? Now, Black Ops 4 may have looked like the M93 Raffica, but it didn't share any of its best traits. I'm talking about the RK7 Garrison 3-round burst pistol, low recoil, cool weapon model. The damage was pitiful. Felt like you had to hit somebody 20 times to drop them. And I know some of you are going to say, hey, Jimmy, the pistols in Black Ops 4 weren't supposed to be great. They were supposed to be normal sidearms. Authentic, realistic. I would come back at you and say, there was plenty of pistols in the game, and they were way more viable as damage-dealing guns. The Strife, the Cap, the Mozu. They were all way better at putting a dent in your enemy's health than this was. So I don't really want to hear those excuses today. The RK7 sucked. You know it. I know it. We're going to shake hands. We're going to hug it out. We're going to move on to Modern Warfare 2019, the last great modern Call of Duty. The 1911. What's the deal? What's the deal with you legacy gun showing up so many times and never actually being good? And I guess you could say the 2019 version of the 1911 was capable of being buffed in the gunsmith, but in terms of starting stats and the stuff you were working out of the gate, just wasn't very good. But put in time and effort and unlock things, Jimmy. A lot of visual recoil. Didn't hit that hard. Fire rate cap was annoyingly low. And even when you beefed it up with all those attachments in the lab, you were getting an average pistol as opposed to something really awesome like you could get with basically every other handgun in the game. It was clearly the worst pistol in my opinion, and I am the COD historian, so my opinion counts for something. Black Ops Cold War. Why did they take the M off of it this time? 1911. It's annoying. Anyways, the 1911, once again, worst pistol in the COD game. Once again, it just didn't have great stats compared to other pistols in the game. Yes, you could beef it up in the gunsmith, but deja vu. You also need to put a lot more effort into beefing it up than you do other pistols, so there's no point in equipping it once you've unlocked something else. And yeah, we're officially at the point of the video where I start not liking most of these games, so you're going to have to bear with me on some of these because I'm not going to lie. The post-Modern Warfare 2019 era is my least favorite part of ranking all of these every COD videos. So here we go. I'm suffering. Vanguard. You guys know I didn't like this game or play it hardly at all. So I'm going to go off the community's general consensus. The Clauser. Clauser? I mean, thankfully, the community generally agreed that the Clauser was hot garbage, while the other pistols in the game at least had something going for them. Fire rate sucked, damage sucked, high recoil seemed kind of out of place for a gun this week, and it only becomes viable if you load it up with 42 high-level attachments, which means you have to grind for hours just to make it a C-tier weapon. No, nobody's doing that. Modern Warfare 2, the X13 Auto. Now, a full auto pistol seems like it would be a great choice in a game with a near instant time to kill, but it wasn't. It was so bad that you might as well just learn how to get a decent trigger figure on the semi-auto pistols because the damage and recoil is so inconsistent, you basically never got to have a good time with this thing. It sucks butts. It does, and so does this game. I'm just putting that out there. In the Modern Warfare trailer, Modern Warfare 4 trailer, did I see a full auto deagle that shoots like 15 bullets at full auto? Was that a thing? Was that one of those Apex attachments? Modern Warfare 3. Tier. Not talking about God of War tier. Shockingly, we don't have to put a Modern Warfare 2 gun in a Modern Warfare 3 spot. I know. It's because Modern Warfare 3 2023 gave us the tier, a hand cannon that was terrible. It could get a one-shot kill to the head, but it was also heavy, clunky, had a horrible fire rate, so follow-up shots were impossible, and there was this really long trigger delay, so hitting your first shot was almost basically impossible unless you were in easy mode SBMM lobbies. I like the idea of a super powerful hand cannon type weapon like this, but in reality, it sucked. The one-shot kills you would get every once in a while were not worth the trade-off or the headache of all the deaths you were going to get along the way. Black Ops 6. Super light, super fast-firing handgun. Sounds great, but it had horrendous damage and required 79 shots specifically, 79 to kill somebody. The Strider 22, no shocker. By far the worst pistol in the game because of how fast the movement in Black Ops 6 was. If nobody noticed you, I guess, spitting on them with it, they were going to zip away before you could spit on with another 24 spits. Loogies. Whatever. I'm lost. I said the F word. Holy crow. Oh, crow? Other pistols killed much quicker with far fewer shots. We gotta hurry up. Black Ops 7. Jaeger 45. It's okay, I think. That's all I have to say. Let's move on. COD Mobile. The MW11. The COD Mobile version of the M1911. Once again, outclassed by every other pistol in the game. It's not terrible on its own. It could do some decent damage in the right scenarios, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to end up wishing you picked something else as your secondary weapon for your class because of the high visual recoil or the low fire rate cap. Not bad on its own, but definitely outclassed by other pistols. Had to show COD Mobile some love, even though it wasn't love. I truly appreciate each and every one of you that tunes in indefinitely on this channel for all the Call of Duty content, like 8,000 videos. It's wild. 17 years. Don't know when we'll ever stop. Don't really know what else to do. See you guys soon.